heats up, you might find yourself in a steam room with Jason, who will be wearing an old-timey strongman onesie. It's a bug in the system.
Okay.
No, it's me.
Okay, I'll turn TV off.
Jason, Hellboy's not coming.
If you're here to tell me an energy drink body...
Right. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I didn't say how many times. Yo! Right. The E-Leaf. $31. That's not the point of the video. There are reviews though that are pretty good. I think I'll do another one then for a bit of inspiration. I think in life, most people use bigotry to stay away from getting used, yeah? But this is the complete opposite of the answer, right? Because I stayed present, yeah? I stayed in the zone, right? And I trusted someone. And I got fucking fucked over. And I learned that I thought she was my soulmate. And I think that says it all, because that is for real. I really did. And she fucked me over. So I think... So back to what I said at the beginning of the video. People use bigotry to try and stop themselves from getting used, yeah? They dehumanize the other person. They say, oh, this person's got no money, I ain't hang with them, you know what I mean? Or they're homeless, I'm not going to hang with them, or whatever, you know what I mean? But the only real way to be able to suss these people out, not through judgments that most likely are wrong, you know, but through actually having the intuitive knowing of who to trust and who not to trust. The only way of getting a feel for that is by trusting people and getting hurt and then learning from that, you know what I mean? I don't want to quote Gigi Young, but it's all about the energy, you know. Next time I feel that energy, that I want you, I need you, you know, saying all the right things to me, you know, etc., you know, I'll know that this is not it, you know. And I've also learned something else, which is that when I do meet my soulmate, it will be like 10 times doper than what I had. You know what I mean? So, okay, so that's one thing. That's one thing. Let me just hold space for what I'm saying. Yeah, so... I learned this I learned this through being present. I stayed present. I mean, like, I don't do this all the time, but I stayed present. I kept away from bad vibes, because you know how your mind tries to bring bad vibes to you, you know. I stayed away from that. I'm thinking, actually, what I'm thinking is, why did I only have 240 quid in my bank? That's all I had. You know what I mean? So what, I only lost 100, no, it was 230. So really, I've only lost 140. I mean, imagine learning, like, one of the biggest, hugest life lessons for only 130 quid. You know what I mean? How to discern, and that's another word that Gigi Young uses, that's where I got it from. Discern between what is good for me and what isn't good for me. I'll say it again, I had to dive right in, I had to trust this person, you know what I mean? Not go over the top, but take her at a word that she was going to pay me back, you know, or at least give something back, you know, just to show me that she appreciated what I'd done for her. You know, it's the whole thing, it's the whole way of living, it's it's being able to tell for real, me personally, if someone's going to hurt me, you know, have that intuition and not be having to push people away through, I mean, I say like through bigotry, but I'm not a bigoted person, so, you know, that would never happen anyway, but because of that, you know, I'm learning real ways of being able, I'll tell you it this way, the very best way of understanding what people are like, whether they are good, whether they are bad, whether they are a threat to you, whether they are a danger to you, is by spending time with them. That is the best way. And you can understand different types of people, because different types of people have different types of toxicities, right? And you can learn those by spending time with those people, right? And there's probably only a certain amount of different types of toxicities that there are. So when I've learnt them all, you know, I'm going to be made. You know what I mean? I believe it. And I don't know how I managed to stay present for so long. In the context of a week ago, I went deeply into all my negative feelings, and the main one was fear of being attacked. And that was mostly because I need clonazepam. I need it every day because I've got some sort of anxiety disorder. It's not bipolar or anything like that, because I've my diagnosis is not bipolar or any kind of mania or anything like that anymore. That's not a problem for me anymore. But now I've got like major anxiety. And I used it. I used it for my own good. I went as far into feeling fear. Say, for example, of being attacked by just some random stranger, you know, in a what should have been a safe place, like a crowded place, you know what I mean? Into feeling that everybody is not judging on me. That wasn't it. What it was that people were literally fucking hating on me, you know. Fly. Literally fucking hating on me, you know what I mean? I walked through Queensgate and I could just feel it, you know. Everyone thinking this person is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And there was a sprinkling of woke people who, like, respected me, but for the most part, you know, it was like they fucking hate me. You know, so I went into those feelings. I went as deep into those feelings as I could go. And what I was doing was the Sedona method, and it's basically what I'm describing. That to go into the deepest, darkest feelings that people see, because, like, in society, people avoid negative feelings because even 5 minutes of feeling bad is socially unacceptable. People are only respected if they feel good all the time, yeah. Shit, I need to fill this up. But the beauty of the Sedona method is that feeling these dark feelings that are socially unacceptable but are perfectly natural and okay, you know, there is a need to go into the darkness, because what it does, and this is, let me just fill this vape up, it's literally a cure for these feelings, a cure for, see, because I've got to do this really carefully actually because I don't want to spill any. There we go. Right, what am I saying? It's a cure for not being able to stay present, because there are toxic thoughts produced by the mind. I mean, meditation is about noticing the toxic thoughts, seeing them for what they are, and just letting them go. But here's the kicker. Through the Sedona method, you can get rid of them completely by feeling them out 100%. I don't know if that's a good way of saying it. 100% going as far into them as possible, right? And just, that allowed me to understand exactly how scared I am of people, right? And how the problem was me. You know, the problem was my reality. My reality was one of fear, and it showed me that, it just showed me so accurately, or so in my face, where I was going wrong, you know. Believing that people wanted to hurt me, believing that people hated me, you know, etc. You know, because when you believe it, you manifest it. You see what I mean? I took such a... It's similar to, like, spending time with people who you don't know whether you want to be doing with them. You know what I mean? What I do is I stay present, I sit with them, I spend a few days with them, and I learn everything about them, and then I decide, you know, is this toxic for me, you know? And that's my boundary. That's how I learn my boundaries. And I did it for myself. You know, I had a look at myself and I said, you know, is this healthy? You know, and it's funny because when I could see exactly how wrong my thoughts and my feelings were, it was just so easy to change it. You know what I mean? It's pretty self-explanatory. You know, if something is that very wrong, then to change it is like that. You know, I don't want to be wrong. I want to be right. You know, so I can change it like that. And it helped me stay, it just helps me stay present without the intrusion of toxic thought, you know. So it's a bit like meditation, but it's just fucking 100 times better. So yeah, I stayed present. I gave her a chance, you know, to prove herself that she had my back, and she didn't. So next time I feel the same feelings that I felt then around a girl, you know, I'll know that it's fake. I will be able to spot that fucker coming a mile away, you know, and I'm not saying that, like, I'm going to keep away from all girls when they start to show me love, you know what I mean? I'm saying that I can spot the fake love as opposed to the real love, you know what I mean? Now I've had fake love, I'll be able to spot real love when it comes along, you know what I mean? And also, it's like, as my depression lifted, I started to be more sociable, so I had to start being around people, and it was difficult because I didn't know who was going to use me and who was going to be good to me, you know what I mean? And I had to start doing this experimentation. I had to start with the wrong person. It always starts with the wrong person, you know what I mean? When your vibration is low, you always start with the wrong person because they are a vibrational match to you, you know what I mean? And as the vibration goes up, you attract more dope manifestations into your life, whether they be people or things or whatever, situations, jobs, you know, etc. So my vibration was low because I'd only just kicked off my depression, got rid of my depression. And I didn't have the experience of discernment because I'd never experienced discernment before because I'd been isolated. You see what I mean? I had to learn how to pick and choose. You know what I mean? And that's what I've done. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video. You know, it only cost me 130 quid. And I've learned... Literally, I mean, think about it. People stay in bad relationships for years, maybe even decades, you know, getting beaten, you know what I mean? And the worst that could happen to me was being used. And I've got out of that, you know what I mean? Through everything that I've explained throughout this video, the whole process, I've got out of that. You know what I mean? And there may be a time in the future where I need to go into my negative feelings again. You know, just take time out. I'll do the time out thing, but I haven't got both hands free. That's whoops. Time out, yeah. And do it again, but... And have a look, just have a little look-see, see if there's anything else inside me that is like really, really wrong. Sort of a belief that I have that is really, really wrong, and go into it as far as I can, you know. It probably won't be as serious as the feelings that I had before because I really have released so much, you know what I mean? Just have another look at myself and see if there's any other ways that I need to change, you know what I mean? And then they're just gone, you know what I mean? So I feel that it's really positive. I mean, really, really, really fucking positive, because now I'm open to finding someone um um I'm just distracted by a text I got. Finding someone who really does have my best interests, you know, at heart. You know what I mean? I'm feeling so fucking lucky. So fucking lucky, because I feel there is another thing around her that could have been like a serious problem, you know. And she's gone now, and it's no longer a problem. I don't want to say what it is, because I've got to be. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a bigot, you know, and I'm not going to be stabbing people behind their backs. You know what I mean? You know. But it could have been really bad. So my situation at the moment is that I'm now looking for somebody serious, you know, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm definitely gonna find someone serious within the next week or something like that, you know. I am hopeful. I met a girl called Kay and Kate, and she's going to take me out on an LGBT night, and I'm going to mix with some people, and if I feel that same vibe, you know, I'll say, look, you're great and everything, but I just don't think we're a match to each other, you know, or something like that, you know what I mean? But there's every chance that I will meet someone who is pure, you know what I mean? Yeah. I I guess I was blinded a bit by her. She was so sexually attractive, you know, and she was so good to touch and kiss and everything else, you know, and I guess I was blinded by that. You know, I thought that with such intense and dope sexual attraction between us, you know, nothing could be wrong, you know. She would never hurt me, and the lesson I've learned is that that is wrong. That is wrong. I mean, we could have been amazing, but she was just no good for me, you know what I mean? So yeah. Somehow I managed to get obsessed by sex, you know. There are times when I wish I'd never been a boy, you know, because I think through relationships I'm trying to reach that heat that only a boy can feel, you know what I mean? That thing, and that's never gonna happen, you know what I mean? But it's like it's so fucking intense that, like, it drives me to make mistakes, getting intimate with people who taking the importance of sex as much higher than it actually is, you know what I mean? I just wish I'd never experienced the type of lust that a boy feels, you know. I do. Yeah. Because, to be real, I feel that may have been part of what led me astray, you know. I remember thinking it's got to be. I remember saying this to I can't remember if I said this to Andy, or whether I said this to Lucy, but I probably said it to them both actually. It's not. It's about wanting to make that person feel good because you feel so much for that person. You know what I mean? Wanting to share something really special. You know. And I don't know. I think I might end this video here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure if there's any more that needs to be said. I mean, I've said a hell of a lot. I mean, it's a 26-minute video and I've really explained it fucking well. If people don't get it, then that, you know, they're just not ready for it. You know what I mean? But it's there. It's coherent. It's completely explained. To someone who's woke enough, it's a clear and unmistakable message, you know what I mean? And I don't believe that the reason I'm not bigoted is because I'm trans, because I've seen internalized racism. I feel the only reason I've not seen internalized transphobia is because I really don't know any trans people. I've really not met any trans people who I've wanted to spend any time with. But I do feel that it's made me not want to judge. But like I say, being trans doesn't cure internalized transphobia. What it cures, what it did for me is it built the will inside me to somehow, through some way, find a way to see everybody as the same, you know what I mean? No matter who they were, no matter what they were doing in life, no matter what their ethnicity or anything like that, you know what I mean? I wanted just all people living on the planet. I wanted to see them all as equal, whether they be criminals, whether they be, say, doctors, you know, anything. You know, it just built the will inside me to do that. But like I say, I still had internalized, you know, bigotry. That doesn't contradict what I'm saying, because this is from the past, you know, and this leads on to me explaining how I found the way. I found the way through spirituality, and I was very lucky to find the YouTube creators who could bring that to me, you know. It's a lot about the mind. It's a lot about how I use my mind, how they use their minds, how they taught me to use my mind. There is a higher power out there. You can draw your power from it. You can raise your vibration using that higher power. You can broaden your mind and become more of a feeling of oneness with everyone. You know what I mean? And in a way, being trans was the biggest gift that I've been given in my life. The second biggest gift I've been given in my life, because, like I just said, it created the will inside me to see all people as the same. You know what I mean? Obviously, the biggest gift to me was spirituality itself. But, yeah. I think I'll stop this video here, and, you know, for me, I don't know. I celebrate people who are on this journey, you know, so fucking hard. And for anyone who wants to become the way that I have become, you know, see everybody as the same, I wish them the best, you know. I know it's possible. I've done it myself, you know. I offer them that positivity. And yeah, those are the people that I'm speaking to really when I make this video. So yeah, goodbye.